Okay, so this is a little different from what I usually talk about, but as an aspiring historian, I feel like there hasn't been enough attention on this anywhere other than the news, and this might not be the app for it because people on here might not care, but I care, so I figured I would just make a video about it. So my fellow Canadians on here know that the Hudson's Bay Company is set to close on June 1st. This company has been around for over 300 years. It is a Canadian institution. I have heard from many Canadians, I've read many articles saying that they really want a Canadian to step up, whether it be Galen, Weston, Drake, or like anybody that has the kind of money to save this Canadian department store. And while I am all for that, because I personally love the Bay, I buy everything at the Bay. I've been a Bay shopper my whole life, even though my family used to be loyal to Eaton's, but Eaton's, another Canadian institution, closed in 1999. So I want someone to save the Bay. However, I understand that the Bay has debts to pay, but they are starting to sell off their archives, and I simply don't agree with that. I took this from a Toronto Star article. So this is the Royal Charter, which launched the Hudson's Bay Company. It was issued by King Charles II in 1670, and they want to sell this to pay off their creditors. This should be in a museum. It is apparently currently in a museum in Manitoba, but it's on loan. So they're trying to sell this. And even if someone doesn't step in to save the actual department store, I need someone, whether that be the Canadian government or like some rich Canadian or even the Bay executives, to realize that selling this is wrong. This should stay in the hands of Canadians and be on display in a museum. So something kind of sort of similar happened when Eaton's closed. They were going through the basement of, I believe, one of the stores that Sears had taken over, and they found these plaques that used to be displayed in front of the stores that showed all of the employees that had gone to fight in the wars. And instead of selling them or getting rid of them, they donated them to the Canadian War Museum. They can be seen here. Now, obviously, that situation might have been different. It was also, like, 2000, 2001 around this time. So, like, everything was just different, but they knew that this was an important piece of history that should be displayed. And they were like, we will figure out a way to pay everybody, but this needs to be in a museum. And I just need the Bay to take a page from Eaton's, because they stayed a true and loyal Canadian company until the end. They started as a Canadian company. Well, in Canada, I'm pretty sure that Timothy Eaton was from like Scotland or Ireland or somewhere else in the UK, just like how the Bay is also technically British but Canadian because it was founded here by immigrants. Tangent over. I need them to take a book out of Eaton's, take a page out of Eaton's history though, and donate the shit like this, because as a historian, like, there is probably so much history there that if they sell that stuff off, it will just be lost forever. Not only that, but there are also several Indigenous groups that have objected to the possibility of these pieces falling into private hands. I haven't had enough time to like thoroughly research this as if it's because they want it to be returned to them, which I would be all for, or if they also just agree that this stuff should be in a museum. But I do plan on like digging more into this while I have time. But yeah, I just think that they need to not sell things like their charter and donate that to a museum. Or if they do sell it, I hope whoever buys it understands its importance and does the right thing and hands it over to a museum.